This is exactly right.
This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn into a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess.
At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders.
FX's The Shards premieres August 5th on FX and Hulu.
Goodbye.
The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And like, whatever turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right, it almost feels wrong.
Right now, you can get great deals on Hyundai's most popular models,
including the adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid and the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid.
Plus, there's the bold and stylish Elantra loaded with the latest tech.
Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or the Ioniq 9.
So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details.
Goodbye.
Hello.
And welcome.
My favorite murder.
That's Georgia Hartstark.
Thank you. That's Karen Kilgara.
Thank you. We're back.
There we are. We're back.
Guys,
listen.
We have listeners who are so kind. They sent us the kindest welcome back. Heartfelt.
Yes.
What it meant to them that we were actually recording together again. It was really lovely.
It was really like, it felt like this like reunion, this like lovely reunion.
Yeah.
And that's so exciting. I missed it so much. And
I know.
I had such a good time last week. So
I did too.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like with everyone, we have all been operating in the weirdest world and we adjusted to it. So like, I didn't even think when we first made that plan, I think you're the one that was like, hey, we should record together.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, are we allowed to? Like,
no.
I didn't even think to do it.
No, we've just been like, it's been a slog that we've gotten so used to that we stopped realizing it was still a slog.
Yes.
And it's still like mentally fucking taxing to live in this crazy new world.
So taxing.
Let's find a little bit of happiness and brightness where we can, because we've all forgotten where we can get it.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Well, right. Because unless it's like sitting in front of your television trying to discover some new Norwegian police procedural, personal example.
Like who? Who does that?
I don't know. Some weird girl, woman. Yeah, it's just the difference. It's almost like a real example of like normal life came back in the middle of the weird life. And I was like, oh yeah, this is the way we used to do it.
Yeah. Like I never used to wear athletic slides. Maybe I can stop doing that now. I just took them off and realized like, that's my new normal.
Those are a gorgeous shower shoe that you're wearing and also representing your favorite athletic mega company.
Oh, the one that sponsors me and my athleticism?
Oh, so do you athlete around your neighborhood and get sponsored by what looks like a company called Nikkei?
Nikkei. And their logo is swoopy.
Their logo is check
mark.
I worked out.
You did it.
Now I'm in the shower, but I'm not going to get a fungus on my feet.
That's right. No. Before this, I would not have been caught dead wearing athletic slides outside the house. Even inside the house. I've never owned a pair of athletic slides until Vince was like,
what's the snobbery about athletic slides?
There's some snobbery, like leftover fashion, victim snobbery going on. Not anymore.
Sorry. Yeah. welcome to the comfort zone.
Thank you. Vintage Georgia doesn't exist anymore. And I don't know if she's going to find her way back after this.
What about, because I've always been very interested in fashion design.
I'm sorry I laughed so hard. I was like, did I miss?
You're just like,
No, I feel like I've spent a lot of time with you and I've never, you like fashion though.
Don't worry about it. Here's my suggestion. I think we can have all the things, because when I used to wear vintage dresses in the early 90s on drugs,
very important part of
I never wore a vintage shoe because I have large, wide feet.
No, vintage shoes were made to oppress women.
Yes.
Purely.
And many current shoes as well.
True.
So the whole thing of like a grandma dress with combat boots.
Oh, the cutest.
I was like, this is made for me in every way.
Yeah. Or like high top Converse. Ugh.
Sure.
Love it.
Or a Nikkei shower shoe. Bring it around.
Oh, yeah.
Let the world know what happened to you.
Listen, it's not ever happening again. The only time I'm ever wearing fucking heels is for like a parade. I don't know. For
the one time you don't want to be in heels.
You know how all those parades I like to accompany myself.
So you have to park in the parking structure and then walk in your Louboutins down the street.
You know what I did just think of recently that I got so overly excited about is that this is going to be the first Halloween that I have a dog, which means costume parade.
Yeah, I know.
Does that bother you? I don't think you'd ever be a person who dresses your dog.
You know my stance, that I feel it degrades the dog.
But what about Cookie? Like, think of, like, your dogs are like fucking stoic and like larger and like have, a presence, where Cookie's just this, like, she's basically an exclamation mark.
Yeah, true.
In a fucking puppy form.
Well, then since I know I can't do anything about it, can I make some suggestions? Because I've always been interested in animal costume design. This. So it seems
it's my favorite thing about you.
Right?
Yeah.
It seems to me that Cookie, because she's black and white, you could stick petals around the outside of her head, and whatever flower has like black and white, stamen, all those on the inside.
I don't think that exists.
No.
I don't know.
What about if you pulled open a tulip? What's in there?
Horticulturists right now are screaming at the microphone.
There's got to be
that doesn't make sense.
Some kind of a black, like, because the first thing I thought it was like a sunflower and how cute that would be.
That would be adorable. Do you know what? Okay, like a couple years ago, and I don't remember her name, so I have to find it. A girl at a meet and greet after a live show gave me a knitted hat for Elvis, and guess what it was?
Well, wasn't I there?
Yeah, but you don't remember, right?
Wait, then now I will guess what it was.
If you remember this, I'm going to be in awe of your memory.
The devil?
Is that what you really think of Elvis?
Yes, now that he's dead, I can finally say it. Georgia.
Stop. It's Cookie Monster.
No, I don't remember that.
Elvis was the Cookie Monster. And now I have a dog named Cookie, so I can put the little knitted Cookie Monster cap on
all
her.
Set. You're all set.
Oh my God. Like, life is. So please please comment in fucking Instagram or whatever on this episode post. Jesus, words. Who you are that you made that, because I need to tag you.
The actual inventor.
Yes, the knitter.
The author of that costume.
Speaking of authors, that was great segue.
Depends on where you're going.
I read a book.
Oh, okay.
Perfect, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we don't have to talk about that now. We can talk about Game of Thrones instead. Speaking of sitting on your couch watching Norwegian, whatever the fuck, I watched Game of Thrones.
You can relate all of it to anything,
I really truly can.
Okay,
What do you want it to do first?
First, I'm going to do the George's Game of Thrones segment theme song. Do 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 boop do do.
Skip intro.
First
skip
of
intro.
all, okay.
Skip intro.
There are hardcore people that get mad when you skip the intro because they're different.
Oh, they are?
Yes, apparently. This is what someone told me. I've watched it over and over, and I'm like,
no.
But there are those who say, and again, we're going to hear from the Thrones arenas.
Professors, the Game of Thrones professors.
The professors out there. But I heard, and I've never witnessed it with my own eyes, that there are different introductions.
Like spoilers?
Like different title sequences based on what's happening in the episode, where it's like King's Landing's first this time.
Remember this? Remember that?
Like
this?
It focuses in on, but to me, I swear I've tried to look for it, it seems like the most expensive title sequence I've ever seen. So the fact that there's
a little bit like an early 2000s video game opening. Am I going to get murdered for saying that?
Probably for lots of things in this area, because these are passionate people.
But I have almost nothing bad to say about it.
Really?
You won't believe this.
So, but do or don't like the opening title sequence?
Don't know, because I skip it every time, because that's what I do. Okay. Who watches opening title sequences when they have the option to skip? And when they don't have the option to skip, do I get angry? Yes, I do.
True. I agree with you on all of that. But artistically, because I've always
don't fucking say it. No, go ahead, say it.
Been interested in opening title design.
That's right.
Always. Just look at and look at it and go, how would I do that if I had to start tomorrow?
I wouldn't.
Impossible.
I'd quit.
Impossible.
I first of all don't want that job, so I'd quit.
I just realized that's how I watch all TV. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, that's because you're actually working TV.
I know, it all feels like a job I was supposed to get done 2 weeks ago. And so I watch that opening title sequence. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't know how to.
Karen,
I'm not a woodworker. I don't know how to do this.
Let it go. Listen, I know you don't want to accept that you are a career podcaster.
And the relief I feel, because I've always loved podcasts. Big fan.
Stab you with this big pen.
Okay, now let's walk us through when you first turned on that episode 1. What were you expecting and what did you see?
Well, let me tell you, can we go pre that?
Yes.
This is an important part of it. And I would love to thank everyone on Twitter because Vince was out of town this past weekend doing fucking wrestling podcasty things.
Sure.
We watch wrestling.
We watch wrestling. Please watch it.
Take a listen.
Please listen to it.
So I was like, this will be great. He's seen it before. He's not interested, whatever. So then my dad was like, oh, do you need me to spend the night? I know you get scared alone. And I was like, I wasn't scared. But I was like, sure, Dad. Like I wanted him to feel useful or whatever. You know what I mean?
Marty.
So I was like, yeah, spend the night. So then I go on Twitter and I was like, hey, everyone. Is episode 1 of Game of Thrones an okay show to watch with my dad? Because I remember some words of there's some sex stuff in it. And I just got 400 comments of people saying, God, no, please don't watch it with Marty. Do not do it. I still can't look at my father-in-law in the eye because we watched it together. Just don't do it. Incest. Everyone was like, just don't fucking do it. So we watched Only Murders in the Building instead. And it was
great.
A great father-daughter show. So finally, Saturday. Fucking no plans. Get on the fucking lazy boy.
Yep.
3 episodes.
All in one?
You said I can watch 1, but I should try 3. I did 4.
Yes.
Because guess what? I don't fucking hate it.
I can't believe this.
I'll try it. I'll go some more. I'll try it. I want to know what happens. I like Khaleesi. Don't love the storyline of Khaleesi and fucking Moma. And all you got to do is hop on that dick and write it right. And he'll be nice to you. Right?
Right. You just got to face him. You just got to face him.
All you have to do is just get that dick, and suddenly this fucking dude who's horrible will be nice to you and you'll fall in love. Don't love that.
Yeah. Although,
I'm sure it's been.
I who knows if it has, but the feminist politics of Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
But it is they're this clan of warlord horse worshippers.
Yeah.
So I think it's just being set up that they're a little more maybe behind the times and tribal than say.
You can tame that with that pussy.
Right?
Yeah.
With make him turn around and look at you.
Yeah. If you got that good puss, you can fucking. The other thing I text you. First of all, you text me, hey, I sent you basically all the research that's been ever done about Game of Thrones for me to follow along, which I really appreciated. And I was like, oh shit, Karen's really invested in this. I have to do this.
Well, I'm definitely invested. And that visual chart, there's Pinterest visual charts of the different houses.
Wow.
Because when you don't actually have any reference, it's baffling. It's like watching, Days of Our Lives starting now.
That's right. That's the other thing about it is you telling me last week that it's like a soap opera made me not take it as seriously. So I liked it better. Mm-hmm. Otherwise it'd be like, that's not how things like that happen. And that's so stupid. And there's overacting and blah, blah, blah. I was like, this is a fucking soap opera.
Yes.
Loved it. Sent you a text of this bitch of a photo of a gif of what's his name?
Joffrey.
That's right. This bitch. And I wrote him, not you, because it sounded like, and then, I liked it. I'll keep watching.
I can't believe it. I'm so glad.
I can't believe it either.
Can we talk for one moment about what a star turn this role is for Peter Dinklage?
He is my favorite in it. love him. Love, like, he's like nice to hot Jon Snow, but he's like cruel to everyone else. Like, which one do you believe about him?
Well,
love Jon Snow, by the way. Holy fucking shit.
When he has these lines when he says things like, I have a soft spot for broken and discarded things.
Yeah.
Like, it's just there's some beautiful storytelling and characters.
But he's such a little cunt too. I love it.
Yes.
Yes. I'm obsessed.
It's palace intrigue. I mean, like, the most fun. It's like you can learn about how to deal with high school by watching Game of Thrones.
Okay. I could have used that.
Could have used it because it's like
years ago.
We all want to take big swings outward. I needed it so bad. And instead it's like, have some Dinklage, like self-respect, and then like turn the power in. Don't give him so much.
However, I wonder if it was his creative input that within the first few lines of him in that show, we acknowledge that he's got a big dick. Do you remember that? Do you think that he was like, hey, director writers, can I get it? Can I get your ear?
Well, I mean, let's talk about where power comes from. What?
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to keep watching it. Love it, love it, love it.
I'm so glad. Now, did any of those charts help? The visual charts?
Actually, I didn't look at them. I kind of wish I could lie to you, but I can't. But thank you. I feel like when I need them, I'll know. Like, so far, I'm following everyone. Like, I think I get this person and that person. Like, I think I get it.
They start like with the 3 basic houses, but then when they start adding is when I started getting panicky.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, every time they fucking talk about Stannis Baratheon, I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Oh, I don't know anyone's name.
Yeah.
Which one's that person?
He's the guy that eventually, I don't know if you've gotten to any episodes with him yet, because he comes in a tiny bit later, but he's the head of the House of Baratheon that is with the Red Witch, that woman with the really cool hair, who's the night is dark and full of terrors. She keeps saying that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I'm only a couple, like, so you're the beginning of season 1. I just started season 3.
Oh, so I can catch up with you.
I will slow it down for you.
Okay, and we can get on. We could just start podcasting, live watching Game of Thrones.
You know when I used to steal from I Survived? Well, now we'll just do it with Game of Thrones.
That's right. Okay, so this week the story is about a horse warrior. I don't know what's a dragon slayer.
Yeah, really. It's all one of the most embarrassing conversations that I ever had was when I tried to ask a smart friend of mine in private, was Game of Thrones based on historical fact?
No.
Where I was like, is any of this stuff I should have known from like the history of Great Britain or something? And they were just like,
that far from knights and fucking castles and House Stark. That can't be that far from like.
It is. It's totally based on like the human reference point, so that we're not just like weirdly in some.
And look, we don't have fucking dragons didn't exist. They came from the moon, according to the Khaleesi's.
Dragons are just new dinosaurs they were in a deep cave.
It's like a unicorn. They existed. We just haven't found proof yet.
But I'm so happy that you like it.
Yeah, I am too. I appreciate you helping me like broaden my horizons and like get out of my head of like my prejudices.
Sure.
You know?
Well, because at this point in quarantine, let's just admit we're kind of still in it in many ways. Yeah. We have to break down our biases about the entertainment we want to see, because then we'll get surprised. Like, that's the only way. Because I truly am at the end of Netflix at this point. Yeah, like, I am watching shit where I'm like, fine, I'll watch it.
Fine.
If it's the first thing on, I'll click on it. So we can dig deep in things that we know are good. They just take maybe longer to hook into.
I just realized that when I said that about prejudices, I realized that I probably have always figured Game of Thrones was anti-Semitic, and that maybe is one of the reasons I've never watched it. Right? Is there a goddamn Jew in there? I bet there isn't. And guess how many Jews were in the Middle Ages? A lot.
But it's not the Middle Ages. It's total fantasy. See the problem I had? It's all like, you see this chainmail and then you're like, so was there a big wall in like northern Scotland?
Or was a single person not white? Like, can we get some diversity?
Oh, you will.
Okay.
You will.
Great.
But there's not a ton.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, also, have you gotten far enough in that you've met the Hound? The really tall?
No, I haven't met the Hound, and I like know from, ads or whatever that a fucking dragon is coming for Khaleesi. So I'm like ready for that.
Oh yeah.
For her to spread her wings. Oh my God.
She's about to.
I know.
In a real way.
I can tell, and she's going to ruin her brother, which is exciting.
Do you want breaking news?
Always.
So we're coming back. We will revisit Game of Thrones later. I love that we actually did this and we didn't book club it.
And we talked about a half an hour about it. Like, what more does one want? Everyone who's never seen it and never will, who just skipped forward. Hi, we're back.
Here we are, Skipper. a GOT Skipper.
Fair enough.
This was a tweet that came in today. And this is from Laura Tavares on Twitter, who let me know. The candy corn is turkey dinner flavored and it is vile. Did you get these messages?
I did.
Each piece is a different flavor. The coffee and pie ones are pretty good, though.
Sure. Okay, so last week when I told you about Brock's, fucking disgusting candy corn Thanksgiving dinner, and we were like, that can't be Thanksgiving dinner. Everyone told us it's actually Thanksgiving dinner.
So I corrected you. I'd never even had it, but I was like, there's no way they made candy corn.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
There's no way.
No way. No.
I was entirely wrong.
It's pretty brilliant marketing on their part, right? Because I ordered us some.
Did you really?
So in the next 2 to 3 weeks when it arrives, we're eating it. Eating on podcasting is just, you're not allowed to. But I think for this special occasion, maybe we'll save it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
For this special occasion, you're going to hear us chew. Maybe Stephen can mute it a little bit, whatever.
Yeah, we won't. We'll try to chew away from Mike, but then give our reactions into Mike. My mind is blown. Laura, thank you. And whoever else messaged us.
So many people. Poor people.
Now I'm excited that I was wrong. I realized too that there's a lot of those kinds of things where I just take what I'm hearing and then I just go, that's not possible.
You put it through a filter of,
yep.
Can you imagine that?
There's no way. What candy company would do themselves the disservice? But then thinking about it, we're like,
brilliant.
Oh, and also, how many flavors does Oreo have now? And they clearly don't care about how it tastes anymore.
Because people who buy it don't either. Also, fuck Nabisco.
Fuck Nabisco.
Fuck Nabisco to hell. Fucking unionize everyone. Workers' rights. Fuck
Guys,
you. Fuck you. Not fuck workers' rights. Fuck corporations. Workers' rights.
Well, you can't, if your company succeeded in quarantine because your workers busted ass and worked overtime, and then afterwards you said, we're not paying you. We're going to take all that away.
And not like they give you a fucking living wage to begin with. It's like,
and if you unionize, you're fired. That shit's bullshit. Like, let's take a real look at that and not support businesses who work that way. That's kind of the beauty. To me, the beauty of these news stories that we keep seeing where people are like, guess what? Everybody at this drive-thru quit.
Yeah.
Bye, get your hamburger somewhere else. The power has always been with the workers.
That's fucking right.
Always.
I have a news article for you.
Oh, yeah?
That I just thought was really interesting that I found on the Unresolved Mysteries Reddit. Okay, let me just read you the quick part of it. And here's this old man photo? Yeah. This says, in 1991... a man vanishes after telling his family he's going on a business trip. Vanishes without a trace. 2021, so just now, the car stops in front of this man's house and drops him off.
What?
He's wearing the same clothes he disappeared in 1991.
No.
He can't remember where he's been all these years. Convenient.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it looks like he was well taken care of. So it's the case of Mr. George's, Gorgos. So new family, right? Had dementia. That's what everyone's theorizing on Reddit.
That someone took him in because he was just lost and needed help?
No, that he had a secret fucking family. He starts losing his memory and dementia probably. And they're like, let's get rid of grandpa. Bring him back.
How would they know where to bring him?
Or maybe he had dementia, got in the car and was like, oh, here's my home address. Thinks back to his old home address. They drop him off. But why is he wearing the same clothes?
And also, why is he keeping a piece of paper with his home address in his pocket?
I don't know, but he has his train ticket from 1991 when he was supposed to leave in his pocket.
So he really was supposed to go on a business trip?
I think so, but like nobody can figure out what he was doing and where he was.
Oh, we gotta track this story.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Fucking mysterious, right?
So
Unresolved mysteries.
Does he currently have Alzheimer's or dementia?
I don't know, but all it says is he can't rember where he's been.
So it might be amnesia.
Yeah.
It could be dementia. It could be lying. I mean,
Pick
right?
one.
That's one of...
What's the whole Schrodinger's cat? No, not that one.
The dead cat in the box?
No, the one where what's the most obvious answer and it's true?
Oh, it's like the knife, the so-and-so's scythe. What the fuck is it
Occam's
called?
razor.
Occam's razor, a knife razor.
God
Karen, you're
damn
on the
it.
right track there.
I was a little close.
No, yeah, you were on the right track.
Drop me off at my old house, please.
Yeah. So I think lying is the...
It could be, but God, I
Yeah.
mean, also same clothes?
Same clothes. That's weird.
That's
so
a
weird. And the
Crazy
old
twist.
ticket in his pocket.
Like
Like
it
if he-
makes it seem like he went, hit his head, was hospitalized for 20 years,
Right.
got up and came home.
Right. And the staff's like, we lost another patient.
That's a great example. What I just did was a great example of Occam's razor of that's the simplest explanation, but it makes no sense. And who would pay that bill at the end of the day?
Well, they're not in America. They're in a different country, so it's probably free.
Socialized medicine?
Romania. So it's like, well, we're not going to bankrupt you because you had to go to the hospital. God, we are getting political on this.
We don't
episode.
give a fuck.
We don't care.
I have an apology to make to my dog, Frank. I posted a photo without blacking out his eyes or doing any kind of privacy
Filter,
scramble
yeah.
on his face, which he was very upset about
Oh.
after. But we got so excited to post that picture.
Yeah, no, you're right. We should have. That would have been funny. Damn it.
So
we really
sad.
missed an opportunity.
Oh, also in rural areas, many mail carriers have to drive their own car.
Oh.
So people, instead of being in an actual U.S. Postal Service truck
Yeah.
that's customized, so you're sitting on the
Yeah,
right.
we talked about this last week.
We talked about that, and I corrected you because I was like, the postal trucks you drive, you're sitting on the right, so you can deliver next to the thing.
That's not true.
It is true.
Oh.
It's true in city areas. In rural areas,
Oh.
some postmen have to use, or postal
Yeah.
mail carriers have to use their own cars. So they literally sit in the passenger seat with their foot
No.
over, yes, driving from the passenger seat so they can do that.
Didn't we make a joke about that? That's not safe, people.
But it's rural. So it's like way easier. That's
feel
how
like
I learned to
anything
drive.
goes. Well, I did that with my sister too. I learned to shift by sitting in the passenger seat and she'd be like, shift now, shift now.
Yep. Well, I learned by my cousin Stevie yelling dead body and then slumping all the way over so that I had to jump over. He would still gas it, and he would actually gas it faster.
Oh my God.
And then I had to jump over his body and start steering. It was, and he would always go, "I'm training you in case something bad happens."
Oh my God. I told you about how my brother was in a car with his best friend on the freeway in traffic. His friend has a fucking seizure. My brother jumps over and fucking safely in like not rush hour, but like fast traffic, pulls the fucking car off the freeway.
Oh,
like
ooh.
saved their lives.
Wow, Asher.
Asher killed, but Asher also is the person Big Brother fucking ask who will just turn on my windshield wipers, pull my fucking handbrake, fuck with turn my lights off. Dude, like he'll just fuck with you and just crack up the whole time. This fucking asshole. No, I love him.
Genius.
Genius.
So thank you for all the people who were representing rural mail carriers. And, yeah, I guess that's good to know.
Hey, 2 books super fucking fast.
Here we go. No, you don't have to go fast.
Okay. This book, by Carol Johnstone. So Johnstone. I just finished it. Spooky twists and turns that like when you shout when you're listening to a book, no fucking way, like that sort of thing. Twins, one is missing, or is she? Is it murder? Who murdered her? Who done it? But also in a fucking spooky house in the middle of Scotland.
Yes.
So she's this like Scottish author. She's like, I listened to it. So of course I've been listening to a Scottish accent for a week, which is so fun.
Just like singing.
And this is her first this is her debut novel, and it's like one of the best fucking books I've listened to in years.
Great.
So I'm really excited and happy for her.
Congratulations, Carol Johnstone. Is that her name, Carol?
Carol with an E at the end. Yeah. So
Carol E. Johnstone E.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mirrorland. And then the other one, man, I know everything about this case. So I think. And I can't not listen to a fucking book about the Oakland County child killers.
Oh, yes.
Which you've covered.
Yes.
Very well. I've listened to like 4 books or like, stories about it. And this one's called The Snow Killings by Marnie Rich Keenan. And it's just as awful.
Yeah.
The thing about that fucking case and why I'm obsessed with it, I think, is just how many fucking pedophiles were going crazy in the 70s everywhere.
Yes.
There's so many suspects because there's so many fucking pedophiles that are never locked up, or if they are, it's for like 8 months or statute of limitations. There's so many pedophile rings.
Yeah.
They're working in all sorts of fucking different like levels of the fucking industry. I don't know what I'm saying.
I think what's fascinating about true crime as a trend is I think it reflects the continued fear and concern that everyone has, where it's like when these things first started getting discovered, it was like, Johnny, gosh, there's no way he disappeared and was taken by a pedophile ring.
Right.
That's crazy, quote unquote.
Right.
That's crazy. And as time has passed, we've learned over and over, not only is it not crazy, these people are around.
And it's someone they probably know.
It's maybe someone you know, maybe someone you trust.
Yeah.
Maybe they're in a position of trust so they can access your
Right.
kids. Like it's all that, the horror, like awakening discovery of like the 80s, 90s, 2000s is why, in my opinion, we have the true crime trend that we have now, because that's people who grew up in it and are like, wake up, everybody.
Yeah, there's no stranger danger. It's fucking Jerry Sandusky danger, fucking Jimmy Seville danger.
Yeah.
All right. We solved that.
That's a good one. I'll say a TV show I purely stumbled on. And this is what I live for in terms of finding a TV show. No one recommended it to me.
Oh.
No, I didn't hear any kind of an ad for it. Nothing. Suddenly there's a picture of a TV show called Chapelwaite, starring Adrian Brody and everyone's friend Emily Hampshire from Schitt's Creek, Stevie from Schitt's Creek.
Oh, yeah.
It takes place in the early 1800s.
Karen.
There are hauntings. There are people with typhoid. It's like this weird thing of this small town, and I think it was Maine. They're kind of, and they inherit a mansion, but it's creepy. And
what's it called?
It's called Chapelwaite.
You know how they do like the book Chapelwaite by whoever. This one should be called Chapelwaite for Karen Kilgariff.
Literally, you couldn't have. It's like someone went into my brain. They're like, well, what we discovered about you is you love a period piece. You love people in a house away from everybody.
Yeah.
A haunting. Dank. The town being against the family. There's race issues because it's back, everything's...
There's secrets in the town that they don't want outsiders to find out about.
It's a really good show. Right now, there's only 4 episodes, but I think more are coming. And it's really good.
Episodes are coming. Like winter is coming.
That's right.
You looked so confused at me just now.
I was just
what the fuck are you talking about?
Sorry, what's this now?
Okay, good. I want to watch. I'm actually definitely going to watch that. Definitely gonna watch that. Should we
ask everybody? We know you're gonna get mad, but calm down.
What are we talking about?
We need more hometowns. Now, we're gonna guide you through how to get your hometown read.
Yeah. Quickly
and succinctly.
We've never given you guys like guidelines to make it so that we actually will pick your hometown. And that's kind of on us.
It's not true. We've done it a bunch of times.
We have. Okay.
Because it has to be short. There are people that are sending in hometowns and literally they go on for 3 printed pages.
Yes,
we cannot read that.
We're like half a page. And please be good at the paragraph breaks. We'd love a good paragraph break.
Yes, you have to break those paragraphs based on the action. Like get in there and really find the spine of the story and tell us a story. But shouting out your friends and giving us your grandmother's entire history, although we love it personally.
Yeah, tell us her name.
We got to get to the point.
Succinct.
So if you're one of those people that's like, I've sent it in 3 times and I never get read, it's a different character.
It's a different girl.
It's a different character. We beg you to try it again. And then just look back on what you sent in. Were there no paragraph breaks? What did it go on and on? Or was it like succinct and like, cause here's the other thing too. People start writing like they enjoy writing.
Yeah.
And it adds so much
character.
No, I'm saying don't do it.
Oh,
like, it adds to the bulk.
Uh-huh.
So make sure you're not.
Trim the fat.
Yeah. Be your own great editor.
Be a great hometown writer design person.
I've always loved hometown writing design, and you know that about me.
Just try, listen to a couple episodes before you start writing your own. And then when we go, you'll just see that there's a pattern of people who are clever, but not super cocky about their cleverness and know how to tell a story from beginning to middle to end. The end.
Yeah.
So send those to myfavoriteMurder@gmail. I think there's a place on our website.
And also, if you have heard all these notes and you still say, I wrote mine perfectly and it never got read, please give us another chance.
Yeah.
Just please resubmit, because we're just starting to put an organizational process into the way we're doing. Like, guys, we just got producers. So
we've been so busy trying to make our podcast network, Exactly Right Media, this like beautiful place where hosts are supported and given everything they need. And we totally forgot that we actually have a show too that needs those things.
We need a lot of support.
It's only taken us 5.5 years to realize that Stephen Ray Morris, although he does it really well and tries, cannot do everything.
Not for this size of a show.
Cannot and should not.
He used to have to.
He did.
He used to have to.
And didn't get paid for months because I was doing the fucking accounting.
Look, we started from the bottom. Now we're here.
That's right.
So yeah, do that for us if you would. Don't be mad. We love you. Thanks so much.
Okay, everybody.
Is it time to tell some stories to each other?
I think so. And you're first, right? Wait, hold on. Before we start, can you poke the dog?
Yeah.
As you were just doing.
And look at how offended he is. He's like, Frank is flat out asleep at the middle of the day. I just poked him and he looked around like, sorry, what?
Well, he's like me when Vince is like, yeah, you snore. I'm horribly offended because he's lying. How dare you say such a thing? Frank's like, I don't fucking snore, actually.
Frank's like, it is my right to eat and sleep and not have a job. So,
you know, when you're first dating someone and they tell you that either you snore or you fart in your sleep and you're just like, this relationship's over. I can never face you again, Vince.
The one I always get is talking in my sleep.
Oh.
Apparently I talk in my sleep a ton.
What do you say?
Not sure. I think it's not true.
I'm going to say that you and I are both lovely. We look like sleeping fucking beauty.
Oh my God. One hand is always up by our forehead.
That's right.
Tons of lip gloss.
There's a bird landing on our shoulder. Just
picking off the spiders that everyone else eats 8 of every year. Not us. Not us.
Beautiful sleepers.
The right piece of furniture can completely change your room.
And your life. It's amazing what one good couch can do for morale.
And that's why there's Article.
Article makes it effortless to create a stylish, long-lasting home at an unbeatable price.
They take great care in curating their collection, focusing on pieces that stand the test of time. There's no filler. Every item is chosen for its craftsmanship, design, and lasting value.
And with Article's 30-day satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence, knowing that if you're not completely in love with your new furniture, you can easily return it.
I recently needed to replace my old outdoor dining room table and chairs, so of course I went straight to Article. They have the Sarik outdoor dining set. I got it in khaki green. It's such a cute, like minty green. It looks so good in my backyard. I can't wait to have alfresco dinners all summer. You know, we can carve pumpkins on it in fall. It's so beautiful. Article knocked it out of the park once again.
Article's offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
To claim, visit article.com/murder and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout.
That's article.com/murder for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
Goodbye.
This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn into a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess.
At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders.
FX's The Shards premieres August 5th on FX and Hulu.
Goodbye.
In the summer, healthy habits are easy to keep until you leave the house.
You walk out the door and the next thing you know, you're barefoot and feral in a gas station candy aisle.
That's why Kachava makes it easy to maintain your routines.
Kachava is an all-in-one nutrition shake, and now it comes in new travel packs.
Every packet gives you a simple shake with protein, fiber, vitamins and minerals, greens, probiotics, omegas, electrolytes, and more.
They're easy to toss into a bag, easy to take on the road, and a simple way to stick with your normal wellness habits, even when your schedule changes.
Man, that Kachava matcha in the individual packs is like my dream snack. It's exactly what I need and want in between the like not great meals I'm eating for lunch and the snacks I would have had anyways that are terrible for me. Like, this is something I feel like I'm treating myself when I take.
You're treating yourself to vitamins, fiber, all these things that your body really wants and needs and kind of craves that it does seem like it takes a big effort to get. So now you're getting it all in one packet and in a little drink you like.
Take your daily ritual with you.
Go to Kachava.com and use code MFM for 15% off your first order.
That's Kachava, KACHAVA.com, code MFM.
Goodbye. So this week, I'm going to do the murders of Ed Buck.
Okay.
Now, do you know this one? This is a Los Angeles murder story, and it's relatively recent. The awareness started in 2017. And okay, let me just tell you.
Off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
Let's do this. But I'm like, how do I not know about this? Let's fucking do it.
So the reason this story ever really got attention is because of course, the victims' families who wouldn't rest.
Right.
Community activists and a journalist named Jasmine Canick. And her tenacity, her hard work, and her, her big heart and her care about this injustice brought this story to the public.
Amazing.
Her website is called I Am Jasmine, JASMYNE.com. And her social media accounts, like those together were the reason this story got coverage and it got the attention it deserved.
Amazing.
Other sources for the story include Los Angeles' ABC 7 News, the LA Times, WeHoville.com, which is a website for West Hollywood, The Guardian, the New York Times, Wikipedia, NPR, and Justice.gov.
All the good ones.
Yeah.
All the greats.
Okay. So it's the spring of 2017, and Jamel Moore moves from Los Angeles to Texas to live with his mom, Letitia Nixon. So Jamel had been living a very rough life in LA. He was struggling with addiction and homelessness, and he was trying to make money working as an escort, but it all had gotten to be too much for him. And luckily, he gets along great with his mom, Letitia, and he knows that moving back in with her would give him the new start that he so desperately needed. So he leaves Los Angeles and moves back home. A couple months later, on July 27th, an old acquaintance reaches out through text and makes Jamel an offer that he can't resist. He is going to pay for Jamel to fly back to Los Angeles, basically to party. And later the same day, so Jamel takes him up on that offer. It made me think, and my heart broke thinking about when I was relatively the same age, a little bit younger, moving back home to my hometown.
Yeah.
After flunking out of college, and there's no one like my age there.
Yeah.
I'm literally hanging out with my parents, going to their friends' parties. Like it was, and anytime I had the chance to go back to Sacramento to visit my friends or go into San Francisco, I would take it because like you're just,
a social wasteland at your back home because you flunked out. Like,
right.
You feel terrible.
You feel terrible. And if he was trying to say get sober, this is like 4 months in where right when it's like the hard work begins and someone's like, hey, come back to LA for a glamorous, sexy weekend or whatever.
Totally.
Okay. So that same day, the day that he flies back to LA, Jamel Moore is found dead in a man named Ed Buck's West Hollywood apartment. When the coroner arrives, Jamel's death is immediately ruled an accidental crystal meth overdose. When Jamel's family is given the news, they immediately express their concern that there could possibly be foul play. But the sheriff's department makes the decision to not investigate Jamel's death. So the accidental overdose conclusion stands. But Letitia Nixon isn't ready to give up the fight, so she reaches out to local Los Angeles reporters, hoping to get her son's story out to the public. She reaches reporter Dennis Romero, who then puts her in touch with a journalist and a political strategist named Jasmine Canick. He feels Jasmine would be a great journalistic fit, and he's right. As Jasmine starts investigating, she uncovers some truly disturbing information about Ed Buck And soon, more young Black gay men come forward with harrowing stories about being victimized by him.
Fuck.
So first we'll talk about who Ed Buck is, because of course no one had heard of him before. But when this came to a head, it was near the end of 2019. And I think one of the main reasons this got a ton of press was because Ed Buck was billed basically, or he kept being mentioned as a Democratic donor.
Oh.
He kept being called that. And this was, of course, like in the height of the re-election process, and it's all the news. So I think a lot of places ran with that, and it's the only way they describe this man.
He's like fuel for
Democratic donor. Yeah.
Right.
But, that's how it got out there, and whatever it took.
Right.
So originally Edward Peter Buckmelter was born on August 24th, 1954 in Ohio, mostly grew up in Phoenix. At age 16, he comes out as gay. And after college, he moves to Europe. He spends 5 years acting and modeling. And then in 1980, he moves back to Arizona, gets a job working for his friend's company called Rapid Information Services. So this business provides driver's license info to insurance companies, and it's not doing well. It's basically knocking on the door of bankruptcy, but Ed, despite his lack of business experience, sees potential in it. So after a year and a half, he buys this business for $250,000 and renames it Gopher Courier. And just 5 years later, he sells the company for more than $1 million profit.
Shit.
So he's kind of made himself a bit. So he now tries other business ventures. He opens a restaurant. He dips into the payphone business. Good news is he loses money on both. And the next year, in 1987, he now finds his footing in politics. So at the time, there was a Republican named Evan Meacham, who was Arizona's 17th governor, and he is a racist. He publicly calls Black children pickaninnies. He revokes MLK Day as a paid holiday for state employees. He blames the higher divorce rate of recent years on women wanting jobs, and he's allegedly misusing funds, including $350,000 in a campaign loan that he didn't disclose as legally required. So Ed Buck is registered as a Republican at this time, but he's very much against Meacham. He launches a campaign to impeach Meacham. The governor's defenders try to tear down Ed's efforts simply by saying he's gay. But in the end, the impeach campaign is successful. And this earns Ed some political clout. He winds up switching to the Democratic Party in 1988. And then over the course of the next few years, he holds a couple of political fundraisers for gay and lesbian political campaign funds and HIV and AIDS services. And then in 1991, at the age of 37, he moves to West Hollywood, where he continues participating in local politics. He even runs for West Hollywood City Council in 2007, but he doesn't win. He still shows up to public council and Chamber of Commerce meetings to push back on the quote unquote establishment and reform policies that he feels strongly about. He's also a big political donor, which is where this came in. So his donation records are long, totaling more than $500,000 to mostly Democratic affiliated politicians and organizations. But fighting for gay rights doesn't automatically make you a good person. And Ed Buck's political resume is not convincing Letitia Nixon or Jasmine Canick that he's in any way innocent. And after the LA Sheriff's Department refuses to investigate, Letitia calls up a friend of Jamel's to dig deeper for herself. When she asks this friend if he knows Ed Buck, he reacts with horror. Like Jamel, this friend works as an escort, and Ed had been one of his clients too. According to the friend, Ed would have Jamel, quote, go out to Santa Monica Boulevard looking for young gay Black guys so he could inject them with drugs, see their reaction, and take pictures of them.
Oh my God.
So when the police hand over Jamel's recovered belongings, Letitia finds Jamel's journal in the stack, and his entries seem to confirm the bleak picture Jamel's friend had painted. In the entries, which are dated back to the end of 2016 and the beginning of 2017, Jamel explicitly writes about his addiction issues and about Ed Buck. The entries read, quote, I honestly don't know what to do. I've become addicted to drugs, and the worst one at that. Ed Buck is the one to thank. He gave me my first injection of crystal meth. It was very painful, but after all the troubles, I became addicted to the pain and the fetish/fantasy. My life is at an all-time high right now, and I mean that in all ways. I ended up back at Buck's house again and got manipulated into slamming, which means injecting drugs, again. I even went to the point where I was forced to doing it 4 times within a 2-day period. This man is crazy and it's sad. Will I ever get help?
Oh my God, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. So with no other tools besides the power of public opinion available to her, Letitia Nixon posts a video on social media on August 10th, 2017, demanding that the LA Sheriff's Department look into her son's death and investigate it as a murder. To boost support, Jasmine publishes Jamel's journal entries 4 days later on August 14th, 2017. And as the news starts to spread, more young gay Black men start to come forward with similar stories. One of those men, 28-year-old Damar Love, sits down with Jasmine, the LA Times, and ABC7 to tell his story. Essentially, Ed offers Damar a large sum of money to come to his West Hollywood apartment and quote unquote hang out on the evening of July 3rd, 2017. Because Damar had been there before, he knew the drill. He expects Ed will want to take photos of him. He shows Jasmine some of the photos and the videos of Ed Buck's apartment that he still had that further corroborate his story and Jamel's journal entries. Once Damar is there at the apartment, Ed gives him a glass of water and Damar almost immediately blacks out. When he comes to, he realizes that his hands are tied.
Oh my God. Ed
Buck is standing over him holding a taser that has a flashlight on it. Damar sees another taser nearby and grabs it to defend himself. After a standoff, Damar escapes the apartment. He tries to get help from local police, but they don't believe his story, and they just assume he's a drug addict who's just really high because he's been shot up with drugs.
Totally.
Damar finally finds some EMTs who believe his story, and he's taken to the hospital. Just a few weeks later, on July 27th, Jamel dies in Ed Buck's apartment. Damar Love, thankful to be alive, assures Jasmine that Ed Buck is nothing short of a monster. Damar's story is published, and that, along with the entries from Jamel Moore's journal, make it impossible for the LA County Sheriff's Department to hide from the demand to take a serious look at Jamel's case. And on August 15th, 2017, they finally launch a homicide investigation 19 days after Jamel's death.
I mean, that's quick fucking work. Shit like this, when the family and journalists have to get involved, can take years.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty incredible, like, that their drive got it that quick.
Definitely. Well, yeah, the action and what they were posting and what they were like putting on social media and basically saying Jamel was not the first victim. They don't have proof of anything else except for this man victimized the perfect voiceless contingent of people, young, Black, gay men who were either potentially already addicted to drugs or that he was addicting to crystal meth, which, as we know and we've talked about on this podcast, is the worst fucking drug. You're immediately addicted to it. Like, it's so fucked up. So it's horrible. So as the police begin their investigation, relying almost solely on information and witnesses that Jasmine Canick and Jamel Moore's family's attorney, Nana Jumphy, have found themselves, they start reaching out to these surviving victims for official interviews. But wisely, these survivors all refuse to speak to the police without immunity. Many of them have used drugs and or engaged in sex work, both of which are technically illegal. So they want to make sure that they're covered.
Yeah.
The investigators claim that they don't have the authority to give them immunity, which immediately makes me think of how the Sackler family was just given immunity for basically being responsible for pushing OxyContin on the nation.
Right.
And the fucking opioid addiction issue that we have in this country. And so if you're rich and you're white and you made the drugs, you can have immunity.
That's right.
It's insane. A vigil for Jamel Moore is held in West Hollywood on August 18th. That same day, Representative Karen Bass, who once received a donation from Ed Buck, issues a statement denouncing him and then returns his $250 donation.
Whoa.
And her statement reads, "I am stunned by the news of Jamel's death and the tragic and sad circumstances surrounding it. 9 years ago, I received a $250 contribution from Edward Buck. I do not know him, but what I'm hearing and reading about this conduct with Jamel is deeply disturbing. If there are other victims, they should come forward immediately. It is my hope that law enforcement is prepared to investigate and prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. My thoughts are with the friends and family of Jamel this evening.
Damn, what was her name?
That's Representative Karen Bass.
That's how you do it.
Later, after researching and publicly naming all political figures who have taken donations from Ed Buck,
wow.
Jasmine Canick calls on all of them to return any money they've received. Only a handful of them do, of course. Because we can all rationalize everything. On August 21st, 2017, Letitia asked the West Hollywood City Council to grant all witnesses who come forward against Ed Buck blanket immunity. Some council members, like Lindsay Horvath, agree, but the West Hollywood mayor pro tem, John Duran, disagrees. He says no investigators nor city officials can grant immunity, stating, quote, transparency doesn't always work with the criminal justice system. Transparency can subject you to criminal arrest and prosecution. So before you do anything, you should seek legal counsel to advise you on how to proceed forward before you speak to law enforcement. Now, interestingly, Duran received thousands of dollars in donations from Ed Buck over the years.
Well, shit.
And even represented Ed Buck as his lawyer.
Oh, what a coincidence.
So, on August 31st, 2017, despite Duran's efforts and thanks to attorney Nana Jumphy, immunity is finally granted to witnesses and victims who speak with the police about their encounters with Ed Buck.
That's right.
So it works. Now more stories roll in about young gay Black men, a majority of them unhoused, who Ed Buck contacted via dating apps and websites offering to pay them to come to his apartment and do meth with him while watching porn. One young man who publicly goes by Blake describes how Ed offered him money for, quote, party and play, unquote, which means doing meth and having sex. Ed injects Blake with far more meth than he can handle and forces him to model white underwear in his apartment while Ed takes pictures. Many men recount Ed calling them the N-word and reacting violently if they tried to leave the apartment before Ed wanted them to.
God.
And they all describe the same red toolbox where Ed kept all of his drugs. Coke, meth, heroin, pipes, needles, you name it, it's in the toolbox.
Oy.
So then on September 18th, 2017, Ed Buck's lawyer, Seymour Amster, who is actually the same attorney who defended Lonnie Franklin, the Grim Sleeper,
Whoa.
Criminal defense attorney, he attends a West Hollywood City Council meeting to try and clear Ed Buck's name. He claims that council member Lindsay Horvath is targeting Ed Buck for character assassination and that Ed is grieving over the loss of his friend, meaning Jamel.
Yeah.
He announces his request for an ethics investigation on Lindsay Horvath.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so he went all out. I mean, he had to, right? That's what they do, the crazier shit when it's like, it's the evidence is piling up against their client. So then they're like, no, let's all look over here. Join me over here while we're going to look at this guy. But 2 days later, on September 20th, 2017, a witness going by the name of Brian comes forward to say that on September 11th, 2017, Ed Buck chatted with him on the gay dating site Adam for Adam and sent an Uber to pick him up and bring him to Ed's apartment. Text messages show Ed telling Brian that he's, quote, into watching porn, kicking back, blowing clouds, showing off in underwear and gym clothes with lots of mirrors, cock rings, pumps, shit like that, end quote.
Whoa.
All of which correlates to previous witness statements. So Brian shows up at Ed's apartment around 12:30 at night. And while he brings his own drugs, Ed insists that they take his. While Brian refuses, Ed becomes angry and pushy.
Red fucking flag.
Yeah. Brian starts to feel uncomfortable. The final straw comes when Ed asks Brian if he can call him the N-word. Brian musters up an excuse to leave and manages to make it out safely. But the whole scenario shows that not only is Ed Buck not grieving for the loss of his friend, he's still doing exactly what he did the night Jamel Moore was murdered.
Oh, my God.
So on July 26, 2018, despite incriminating text conversations, photos, videos, and more, District Attorney Jackie Lacey declines to bring criminal charges against Ed Buck, saying that there's insufficient evidence. So, of course, Jasmine Canick is outraged by this announcement. So she takes to Twitter and issues a warning. If another young Black gay man overdoses or worse dies at Democratic donor Ed Buck's apartment, it's going to be the fault of the sheriff's department and LA district attorney for not stopping him when they had the opportunity to.
Damn.
So guess what happens now?
No.
Mm-hmm. Sure enough, 6 months later on January 7th, 2019, another Black man, Timothy Michael Dean, age 55, is found dead in Ed Buck's apartment. And like Jamel, Timothy had died from a meth overdose.
Oh my God.
But this time, because of the good trouble that Letitia Nixon started on behalf of her own son, a cause that Jasmine Canick then took up as her own, this time the LA County Sheriff's Department are investigating Timothy's death as a homicide. Ed Buck's attorney makes a statement to the media that at this point, Ed has not been charged with any crimes and claims that Timothy was just a friend of Ed's who had asked to come over, that Ed had not invited him. Ed's story is that he was reluctant to let Timothy come over, but when he did, he saw that Timothy was acting strangely, so he called 911. But when the coroner report on Timothy Dean's death comes out on March 25th, it reveals that Timothy died of a combination of alcohol and injected meth. And that Ed Buck waited at least 15 minutes after the drug was administered to call 911.
Oh, shit. Science.
Right. So it's true that Timothy Dean and Ed Buck were friendly over the years. They played in the same gay basketball league together. But a friend and roommate of Timothy's named Ottavio Taddy told the New York Times that he's, quote, personally never seen Timothy using drugs and never seen him in the apparent state of alteration caused by any form of drug.
Fuck.
He went on to say, quote, I consider this whole tragedy extremely controversial, and I do hope the police department will dig into it. So this is Timothy's roommate going, excuse me, I'm telling you, this guy didn't do drugs.
Right. If anyone knows, like, you coming home or whatever, if you're fucked up, it's your fucking roommate.
It's your roommate.
Yeah.
Okay, so this time the police do dig into it. All thanks to the hard work of Jasmine Canick, Nana Jemphy, and the team behind Justice for Jamel, which advocated for the victims of Ed Buck since 2017. So 4 days after Timothy Dean's death becomes known, it's on January 11th, about 100 people gathered to protest outside of Ed Buck's West Hollywood apartment. And this time it gets covered by the news. So this is where I first heard about this whole thing going down. And I will never forget it because it was a big crowd outside of this apartment building. And what they were saying, it was like 2 men have died in this man's apartment. And the second I heard that in the news report, I was like, oh, this is so bad. It's going to be so many more.
Like something super suspicious and fucked up and not being fucking addressed.
Yes, not being addressed. And this is the first time we're hearing about it.
Yeah.
There's already 100 people who've already been hearing about it that have to protest because no one's doing it.
The only way to get the attention.
Okay, so Jamel's mother, Letitia Nixon, is in the crowd that night. She tells ABC 7 News, it's like my son has been killed all over again. How much longer are you guys going to turn your head and act like you don't see anything until another dead Black man is in here? The crowd chants, arrest Ed Buck. They're furious that a white man could have 2 Black men die in his home, possibly more, but the authorities refuse to investigate the stories. And he's never faced any charges and has been left free to do it again. Paul Scott, a member of LA Black Pride, who was also in the crowd that night, tells the press, if it was one of us and a white person was found dead in our home, the common sense would be first that we would go to jail. This guy has yet to feel the steel of handcuffs. It is painful to us. So the media attention breaks the story internationally. And 8 months later, on September 17th, 2019, Ed Buck is finally arrested and charged with 3 counts of battery, causing serious injury, administering meth, and maintaining a drug house. And 2 days after that, the charge of distribution of methamphetamine resulting in death is added for the death of Jamel Moore, which was originally ruled an accident, but is now ruled a homicide.
Okay, awesome.
In an interview, Jasmine Canick tells British newspaper The Guardian that authorities finally arrested Ed Buck because, quote, they were pushed by a community of people who were tired of seeing their people dying. This was 2 years of the Black LGBTQ community in Los Angeles and beyond not letting it go. It was about damn time.
Fuck, yes.
So Ed Buck appears before a federal grand jury on October 2nd, 2019, where he's indicted on several narcotics distribution offenses, including injecting Jamel Moore and Timothy Dean with meth. He's arraigned on October 10th, 2019, and pleads not guilty. His trial is set for November 26th, same year, but due to COVID-19, it's pushed to January of 2021. So these charges carry a minimum of 20 years in prison. But in the opinion of the Justice for Jamel legal team, they failed to illustrate Ed Buck's intent to do harm. Yeah. So like Jamel Moore's family, 1 year after Timothy Dean's death, his family files a civil suit for wrongful death on January 7th, 2020. Attorney Hussein Turk, a member of the Justice for Jamel team, puts out this statement, quote, the wrongful death lawsuits fill in the substantial gaps created by the inadequate federal and state criminal complaints, neither of which directly addresses Ed Buck's racism or his alleged intentional killings of Jamel Moore and Timothy Dean. The civil lawsuits are important because they seek to hold Ed Buck specifically accountable for engaging in racially and sexually motivated hate violence against Black gay men. Yeah. These cases are not just about furnishing drugs that resulted in deaths and grievous bodily injuries. These cases are colored by the racial identities and social positions of the victims and the perpetrator. Ed Buck didn't just hand out drugs that resulted in the deaths of Mr. Moore and Mr. Dean. Ed Buck deliberately and exclusively used drugs to commit disgusting acts of race-based sexual violence against a specific demographic.
He was a predator and he had an MO.
Yeah.
And he's not being held accountable for that at all.
Yeah. So when the federal court files are accessed, the testimony of Ed Buck's victims give light to a picture that is truly horrifying. So this is a partial quote from an article by journalist Sam Levin writing for The Guardian, and it lists some of the victims' accounts. One victim said he learned about Buck when he was homeless and living in a park, and said that Buck was nicknamed Dr. Kevorkian, a reference to the pathologist known for helping terminally ill patients die. This victim said it was part of Buck's, quote, role-playing and fantasy to inject people with methamphetamine, end quote, and that although the victim had never injected meth before, Buck assured him that it would be fine.
Oh, shit. He had never fucking done it before.
No.
And this guy convinces him.
Injecting drugs, too. It's like, yeah. Terrifying. So Ed Buck allegedly ignored this victim's agreement to only do a small dose, and he, quote, emptied an entire syringe into him, end quote.
Oh, my God.
Another time, Buck injected this person, and he immediately lost consciousness and awoke to discover his anus bleeding and a third man filming him, the complaint said. Another victim said when Buck injected him with a tranquilizer, it made him, quote, unable to move, adding that when Buck later wanted the victim to leave his home, Buck became frustrated and obtained a power saw from a closet, turned it on, and approached the victim with it. That victim eventually escaped the apartment. In another case, Buck gave the victim what the victim thought was vodka, but he fell asleep or blacked out after consuming it. The complaint said this victim said he woke up to Buck injecting him with a syringe and panicked because he did not use meth, but he couldn't move when he tried to get up. He also felt, quote, excruciating pain. And when he tried to remove the metal clips fastened to his nipples, Buck just laughed. The most recent victim, who overdosed but survives, told authorities that Buck solicited him for sex and distributed meth to him, quote, nearly every day during approximately a 1-month period.
Holy shit, it's keeping him prisoner.
Yes, and also it's like he's now hooked these men on these drugs, and now they have to come back to him for them. Okay. So on August 4th, 2020, Ed Buck is brought before a federal grand jury again, and they add another 4 charges to his list, including that he enticed victims to travel across state lines to engage in prostitution/sex work. And this brings his total count to 9 federal charges. Meanwhile, DA Jackie Lacey tries to rid herself of the blame by pointing fingers at LA County Sheriff's Department. She claims that they searched Ed Buck's infamous red toolbox illegally, thus making that evidence inadmissible. The social justice groups on the ground aren't buying it, though, and because of their organizing and informational efforts, Jackie Lacey is voted out of office on November 3rd, 2020. West Hollywood Mayor Pro Tem John Duran is also voted out of office after defending his longtime friend Ed Buck publicly.
Yeah, dude.
What are you doing?
Fucking happens. You know what I was thinking, too, about evidence is that since in the very beginning, they didn't get a search warrant because they thought it was just an accidental death, and like just completely ignored it, then he had time to get rid of all those fucking evidence, the videos and photographs.
Oh, yeah.
That would have proven what he was doing.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah. It's like a perfect warning for a predator like that, where it's like, oh, you better clean this up at least for a little while.
Yeah. Until charges are filed, if ever.
So with ongoing issues for around COVID-19, Ed Buck's trial is once again pushed to April 20th of this year. Several survivors of Ed Buck's cruelty testify against him in court, sharing their harrowing stories of being solicited for sexual gratification and having drugs forced upon them, sometimes even while unconscious. And when the trial ends on July 27th, 2021, Ed Buck is convicted of all 9 charges against him. His sentencing date hasn't been set yet, but the 67-year-old faces anywhere from 20 years to life behind bars. In an attempt to delay, Ed Buck makes a motion for judgment of acquittal, which the judge addresses on August 30th, 2021. As Jasmine Canick reports via Twitter, quote, Buck's attorney wants to toss the jury's verdict on the claim that the evidence at trial was insufficient for conviction, end quote. Ed also complains that he hasn't had contact with his lawyers for a month, which the lawyers come back and say that's simply not true. Mm-hmm. The judge tentatively denies this motion, but grants Ed more time to confer with his legal team. His legal team claims they already briefed Ed on everything he needed to know, but even still, the hearing to make a final call on this motion is pushed to October 18th of this year.
Holy shit.
It's still not looking good for Ed, but sentencings won't happen until this motion for judgment acquittal is dealt with. As long as those guilty verdicts stand, which is likely, Ed Buck will spend the rest of his life in prison. And while the harm he caused can never be undone, this case serves as a reminder of why the work of journalists like Jasmine Canick need to be championed and protected. Without her compassion and dedication, it's likely that Jamel Moore and Timothy Dean's deaths would have gone unnoticed or would have been blamed on and explained away by people who want to point toward their quote-unquote lifestyles and away from the cold, hard facts. Mm-hmm. And it's likely that there would have been many, many more victims. As Jasmine Carrick told NBC News, quote, our stories aren't told, and our lives are seen as expendable. It's very easy to write off someone who dies of a drug overdose who was working as a sex worker, but Jamel was as much a part of our community as the many other young men like him. It may not be pretty, but white gay men taking advantage of young black men in our community is not unusual. It's just not talked about in mainstream America. Wow. End quote. And that is the disturbing story of Ed Buck and the murders of Jamel Moore and Timothy Dean.
Wow. Karen, great job. That's
Thank you.
Fucking banana story.
Yeah. Wow. It's horrifying.
Yeah. I'm so glad you told that.
I mean, that idea, like the people that somebody is such a predator that they find people who will not be listened to. They know for a fact.
Yeah.
It's just like a pedophile targeting a kid that with like divorced parents or something, totally. Where it's like, it's them strategizing how they can do it and how they can get away with it.
They do get away with it. I mean,
yeah,
that's incredible, but it's also amazing the people who rallied around to fucking take this predator down.
Well, and what I think is beautiful too is that West Hollywood, which is, you know, a lot of people know is the gay part of Los Angeles, but it's also a very fancy part of Los Angeles. It's a very fun, popular, you know, like a lot of people go there just at night. There's great bars. It's a whole strip. It's totally. Like a whole community, but it truly is a community.
Yeah.
And I think once there was like a protest where it's like, sorry, what's going on? People knew they couldn't turn away anymore. Right. And that, you know, I think West Hollywood as a community started to rally. Yeah. It wasn't just about a different group and it wasn't just about, you know, somebody else. It's like, it's happening here everybody needs to start paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, great job.
Thank you.
This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn into a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess.
At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders.
FX's The Shards premieres August 5th on FX and Hulu.
Goodbye.
There's nothing better than just laying around.
Whether you're fully horizontal or at a slant, it cannot be beaten.
Unless, of course, you have a Lola blanket.
Lola is the world's #1 blanket, crafted with ultra-soft luxury vegan faux fur and a signature 4-way stretch that sets it apart.
Their products are machine washable and double hemmed for durability, and they stay flawless. No pilling, no shedding, even after repeated washes.
And there's more. Lola also makes weighted blankets, matching pillow sets, and super soft pet beds.
Lola is a great go-to gift. It's personal, beautiful, and something your loved ones can actually use every day.
For a limited time, our listeners can get 40% off select Lola Blankets products with code MFM at checkout.
Just head to lolablankets.com and use code MFM to get 40% off your order.
After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know we sent you.
Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola Blankets.
Goodbye. The future has an annoying habit of always showing up.
That's why now is a great time to start planning ahead.
Enter Acorns.
Acorns is a smart way to give your money a chance to grow. You can sign up in minutes and start automatically investing, even if it's your spare change.
The Acorns potential screen shows you the power of compounding and how your money could grow over time. You can quickly adjust how much you're investing every day, week, or month to make sure you're always building towards your goals.
Whether you're just starting out or thinking about settling down, Acorns supports your big and small goals across every stage of life. Sign up now and Acorns will boost your new account with a $5 bonus investment.
Join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $27 billion with Acorns.
Head to acorns.com/MFM or download the Acorns app to get started.
Paid non-client endorsement compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns.
Tier 2 compensation provided, potential subject to various factors such as customers' accounts, age, and investment settings.
Does not include Acorns fees. Results do not predict or represent the performance of any Acorns portfolio. Investment results will vary. Investing involves risk.
Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/MFM.
Goodbye.
Okay, so this actually, weirdly enough, comes mainly from an article that I found late one night in The Guardian.
Oh, yeah.
That I had never heard of the story before. This really great article was written by Doug Homer. And so I used this article heavily for this piece. And the article was called Bring Up the Bodies, and then ... the retired couple who find drowning victims.
Oh.
So it's this couple called Jean and Sandy Ralston.
Okay.
Ralstons. So I'm going to tell you all about them.
Okay.
I also got some info from the Ralstons website, sonarreflections.com, and an Oregon Live article by Samantha Swindler, and then a little bit off of montanarightnow.com. So let's start here. Karen, when a body needs to be found in a body of water, there are many different ways to try to locate them. And this is a quote. I'll be quoting Doug Homer's article in The Guardian a little bit. Quote, there are scuba divers and underwater cameras, dogs trained to detect the gases released by a body underwater, but none of these are good at searching large areas or probing deep water. So divers who do look for bodies often face dangerous conditions, and most police departments don't have a ton of technology or the equipment to search large areas or deep water. And those areas are often obstructed by sediment. There's like trees underwater, all these crazy things.
It makes me think of Someone Knows Something.
That's right. The first season of Someone Knows Something. Excellent podcast. Everyone check it out.
Yes.
And so there's even times when divers just have to feel around in the darkness.
Oh.
Or even sometimes divers just have to feel around in the darkness. Sounds terrifying.
Horrifying.
So some bodies will surface on their own. It depends on the water, if it's cold, if it's salt water, if it's cold water, whatever. And in warm, shallow water, a body can surface within 2 to 3 days because the gases, of course, will inflate the body. and it'll rise to the top. But in cold water or deep water, bodies sometimes never surface because the weight of the water holds the body down. Like fucking nightmare stuff. If the body never surfaces and there isn't any suspicion of foul play, most authorities will only spend about a week or two searching for the body. You know, they don't have the resources. And after that, it's up to the victim's family to try to find the body themselves. Some are forced to pay thousands of dollars a day for commercial diving services, and others try to find the bodies themselves. And most often they're forced to give up due to lack of resources.
That's horrifying to think that you would be forced to go look for yourself.
Totally.
That's awful.
And then to give up and you can just look at this lake or whatever and know your loved one's in there and there's nothing you can do about it. It's heartbreaking. But when all hope of finding a missing body is lost, this is where Sandy and Jean Ralston step in. They're considered some of the best underwater search and recovery specialists in North America. So now I'm going to tell you about them.
Okay, great.
Did you see what I just did? Oh my God.
It's going to end too quickly. I won't be able to. Georgia just used George, my dog, as a desk.
I really did.
She didn't react. She doesn't care. She's down.
She's sleeping on me.
As long as you let me stay in here.
I laid my paper down on her and wrote I laid my paper down on her and wrote something. And then I did the whole, like, what's the thing where you take a paper and
you tap, tap, tap to even up all the
evened up the paper on your dog. Is that animal abuse?
Not at all.
You can take
It's
a photo?
animal use. I keep telling them they need to get jobs. They don't help.
She's being very useful. Okay, we'll post a photo of that because it's just ridiculous. Okay. Around 1970, Jean and Sandy Ralston, and they're like, of course, now this adorable white-haired couple that are so cute together. You love them. So they meet on a 2-month trip to Mexico that had been organized by the College of Idaho's biology program, which they're both part of. And they start dating on the trip and marry 2 years later on top of a mountain in Idaho, which happens to be called Heaven's Gate. So by 1979, Jean has a master's of science in biology and zoology. Jean's the man, by the way.
Okay.
I know it's sometimes
No, that's good to know.
And Sandy has a master of science in biochemistry. So fucking smart as fuck people.
Smarties.
Smarty smarts. The couple start their own environmental consulting firm, which turns out they survey waterways for fish and evaluate the environmental impacts of proposed dam projects. So smart science people.
Yeah.
In 1983, Jean is asked by the Boise sheriff to help find a woman who jumped off a bridge into the Boise River. They are successful in finding the woman's body. And Jean later tells Oregon Live, quote, "The thank you we got from the family really brought home to us what it means to have someone missing and not be able to find them." For the next 16 years, the couple volunteers for Idaho's search and rescue operation.
Wow.
In the spring of 1999, Jean hears about the search for a man who drowned after his rowboat capsized on the Wolf Creek Reservoir in Oregon. The man's family had hired a search team who borrowed military equipment that was, quote, 100% effective at finding drowning victims. Jean wants to see the equipment, so he asks if he can tag along. The 100% effective equipment is a side scan sonar, which has been around since the early 1960s. And according to The Guardian, the sonar equipment is towed behind the boat close to the bottom of the water, and the sonar emits pulses of sound which travel easily through the water, reflecting back off solid objects. Science. So rocks, human bodies, sunken treasures. Software then translates those reflections into images displayed on a computer aboard the boat. So it's basically like medical sonar. So it's basically like getting an ultrasound, like when you have a baby or whatever. So about this piece of equipment, in the 70s, Jacques Cousteau used the technology to find shipwrecks. And Karen tried to capture an image of the Loch Ness Monster.
He did?
Tried.
Jacques Cousteau?
Yeah.
What? Okay. This is separate about how elated I am that we had someone so legit.
Yeah. Believe in it.
On the Nessie team.
Look, that's why I included it in this. Because I knew you'd fucking.
That was a little gift for me. Thank you.
Right. And also in 1985, the side scan sonar helped to locate the Titanic. Remember in the fucking 80s it was located? People don't like know that. It's crazy, right?
I thought it was located right after the movie Titanic came out, and it was all kind of bundled together as a promotional tool.
I think they used some kind of technology to actually go in it and like see it better.
Yes, there was a whole movie, like a documentary James Cameron made.
Totally.
Or the same director. Yeah.
James Cameron.
Made, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's really good. So the Titanic was about 370 miles southeast of Newfoundland, Canada, more than 2 miles below the surface on the Atlantic. By the way, I had to do a lot of research because in the Guardian article, he uses like meters and shit.
Oh.
And I had to be like, well, we don't know how many fucking feet translates to you. I don't.
We need the translation for America, the only country in the world that will not do the metric system.
That uses the antiquated as fuck. Okay.
No wonder we're where we are today.
Truly, deeply.
Can't change.
Gene is super impressed with this side scan sonar equipment, but he isn't impressed with the people operating it. Yeah. So the team he went with to see how it works, he says that the first day he was able to see an image of the missing man on the floor of the lake. But the team members he was with who were operating it didn't fucking spot it, even though he did. On their fourth day, the team finds the body.
And it's the one he saw.
It's the one he saw. And they charge the family $30,000.
No.
So did they purposely not find the body till the fourth day because they rack up more money? I don't know.
That's dirty. I mean, like, how do you sleep?
Yeah. I mean, the equipment costs a lot of money. It's a really expensive endeavor.
Right. So you want to get in, get out.
Right. That's true. That's not true, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
The Ralstons, they already know that the Ralstons are totally aware that people who are desperate to find the body of a loved one that's drowned will fucking pay anything to do so.
Of course.
And so they are charged that. And that's why when the couple buys $100,000 worth of their own side scan sonar equipment, and this is in the spring of 2000, they decide to work for free.
Oh, God.
To not charge anything.
Oh, man.
To these victims' families who are desperate to find their fucking
because they're
loved
just fully disgusted. Like, we have to make a difference.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's our, like, they feel called to it. Like, it's their duty. They do charge travel expenses, but they travel by motorhome. Like, they're the loveliest, most, like, down-to-earth, modest fucking people.
There absolutely should be a biopic about.
Absolutely.
Amazing. That is amazing.
This Guardian article was great because I'm so glad it introduced me to them. The couple's first search with their new equipment takes place in the fall of 2000. They're searching for 24-year-old Brandon Larson, who 6 weeks earlier had drowned while swimming off his friend's boat in Bear Lake, Utah. And from the article, it's basically this guy who was this prankster, jokester, is with all his friends. So when he signals that he's drowning, they think he's joking. I know, it's fucking... No. Yeah. Within a few hours of searching for Brandon's body, the Ralstons found him about 145 feet below the surface. So, like, immediately. Within 2 weeks of finding Brandon, the couple starts receiving calls from families who had heard about them on the radio. Like, they did a radio interview. The first was from a mother of an 18-year-old girl whose body had been found already after she'd been abducted and murdered about a dozen years earlier. But law enforcement was still trying to bring, like, the known killer to justice, but they didn't have enough evidence. So the mother asks the Ralstons to help by finding the girl's car, which they believed to be in a lake in Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hoping that would provide enough evidence. So Jean says, quote, "I could hear a lot of pain in her voice. It affected us a lot. I couldn't wait to get out there." In the end, unfortunately, they were unable to find the car, but it only strengthened their belief that they were needed and doing the right thing.
Like, they didn't even understand the detail with which they could be needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just bodies, it's important things like evidence. The Ralstons start taking on as many cases as they can while still operating their environmental consulting firm. So, like, you still need to make money.
Yeah.
During their first year, the Ralstons participate in 16 searches spanning from California to Maryland.
Wow.
And by 2004, the couple's receiving so many calls that they have to stop promoting their business because, quote, "it interferes with how quickly they can respond to search requests."
Yeah.
Jean later tells The Guardian, quote, I would have to tell a family that we couldn't come for 2 or 3 weeks, and that bothered me. Like, so pure of heart.
Well, because every person calling them is in crisis and in an emergency.
Dire need. Yeah. In 2005, the Ralstons shut down their consulting business and conduct searches full time. The couple spends the majority of their time traveling around in a motorhome, which tows their boat. When they aren't on the road, they're living outside of Boise, Idaho. Because they work for traveling expenses only, the couple doesn't have a lot of money, but they're frugal with what they do have. Jean tells The Guardian, quote, "What better use for what money you have than to help somebody else out when everybody else has given up on helping them?"
Yeah.
Their modest boat is named Kathy G, which they named after a young woman whose body the Ralstons found in a lake in Alaska in 2008. And then the family of Kathy G donated money that the Ralstons used to buy a much needed new motor. So according to The Guardian, the Ralstons are, quote, "modest, unassuming people, but they bring a relentlessness to their often monotonous work." So when they're looking for a body, they do what they call mowing the lawn. They tow their sonar equipment back and forth through the water. Sandy pilots the boat in slow overlapping strips. It takes a long fucking time. It is like very slow, monotonous work. The boat doesn't go faster than 2.5 miles per hour, which is slower than walking. So they're just like for weeks on the fucking water going back and forth looking for this little.
But think about it. Like, they're a retired couple who's essentially driving around like they're kind of quote unquote on vacation.
Yeah.
And that's what, if he was a fisherman, right, they would be doing the exact same thing.
Totally.
So they're like, these people are unbelievable.
I know.
I can't. It's so amazing.
They search for up to 10 hours a day, and some searches last for weeks. Jean tells The Guardian, quote, "After the 5th or 6th day of searching, you get almost zombie-like." And then he also says, quote, "Searches consist of long periods of boredom interrupted by brief moments of terror." Like to suddenly fucking come upon what you're looking for.
You're looking for it, but you actually don't want to find it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once they find the body, then a local dive team comes in and recovers the body. Another time, the Ralstons help assist dive teams with their remote operated vehicle. So it's said that they're not just good at what they do because of the equipment. They also interview witnesses in order to try to pinpoint search areas. So it's not just this vast lake they're looking. They have an idea of where to look. Like, they were the only people who thought to look at the GPS data of the houseboat that a man named Michael McGuckin jumped off of before he disappeared in June of 2019.
Ooh.
Because they checked the GPS, the Ralstons were able to find his body over 300 feet down in Utah's Lake Powell. I know.
So like, it's almost like they're teaching themselves how to get good at what they're doing.
Totally. Or they're just like, I guess maybe because they're not professionals, they're able to think outside the box and just, have some more basic idea of how to find a body.
And maybe because they're not professionals, it's not a thing they have to deal with day in, day out. They're not desensitized. Each case becomes their
it's like personal to them.
Yeah, it's really personal. And so they're like, how do we solve this? Like,
and they're not dedicated. In a hurry too. So they're able to kind of like slow down and consider these things.
Yeah.
According to Jean, the quote, "point of last seen" is crucial to a search because a person will sink to the bottom of a lake within a radius equal to the depth of the water.
Oh, there's an actual formula to
an
it.
Equation, yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes Jean and Sandy are able to pinpoint a search area so accurately that they lower their sonar equipment almost directly on top of the body.
Whoa.
I know. One day in 2001 in Idaho's Hayden Lake, the couple lowered their sonar equipment down on the bodies of 2 men. One drowned 19 months earlier. The other drowned the previous week. So they were actually only looking for one of them, and they found both of them.
They found 2. Whoa.
So let me tell you a couple. I can't obviously cover all of the cases, so let me tell you a couple of note that I found interesting.
Okay.
In March 2002, the Ralstons are tasked with finding their first homicide victims. They're recruited by the FBI to find 4 people who had been kidnapped for ransom by a group thought to be connected to the Russian mafia.
Ooh.
The families of the victims paid the ransom, $1.2 million, but the victims were still killed. The victims are thought to be at the bottom of the new Malonis Reservoir, which is east of Yosemite National Park. The Ralstons are a bit apprehensive and they wonder if they're going to be targeted by the Russian mafia if they try to help out on this case.
Oh, yeah.
So Gene reaches out to his cousin, who's a recently retired FBI agent. And his cousin tells him that the Russians, quote, aren't really into murdering people. So you don't really have to worry about them doing anything in retaliation if you go ahead with this search.
They aren't into murdering people.
I
the
guess
mafia?
It's not their style.
They keep them alive and do other stuff?
I guess.
They send them to jail.
That's right.
The Russian mafia is very...
That's right. They're basically like bounty hunters. The Russian mafia.
Got you.
So they take the case. Knowing the 4 murder victims will look different on sonar than a drowning victim, maybe because they're weighted down or like rolled in a fucking rug or something like that, you know? Totally different than someone who just naturally drowns.
Mm-hmm.
It still takes 2 weeks to find all 4 victims. And as suspected, they're at the bottom of the reservoir. But because the reservoir is close to 300 feet deep in some areas, it's not safe for divers to reach the bottom. So the FBI has to fly. Okay, so you know when you see on a TV show or like a crime drama, like the diver goes down, he comes up and he's like, found it or whatever. That doesn't actually happen because divers can't go down that deep.
Oh, okay.
So what really happens is something like this, where the FBI has to fly in a small unmanned submarine from their dive team headquarters. And the submarine has a mechanical arm that hooks the bodies and brings them up to within 30 feet of the surface. Then the divers go down and recover the bodies.
Oh.
And they had been weighted down with gym weights. And they're able to use the evidence that is found to tie up the bodies to find the kidnappers. And actually, there's another murder by the same people with kidnapping and murder by the same group. Then they find that they're not fucking Russian mafia at all. And the group had kidnapped a total of 5 people, held them hostage, and then killed them regardless if the ransom was paid. So these are bad fucking guys.
Yeah.
And they dumped their bodies in the new Malonis Reservoir. In the end, 6 people are sentenced for their roles, 2 of them receiving the death penalty. In January 2003, Gene helps police search for Lacey Peterson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in San Francisco. And on the 18th, he finds what he thinks is a large plastic bag, but it's anchored to the bottom of the bay, so he's not sure. And he's unable to recover the bag, and he dismisses it as not being her body based on some other evidence. So then in March, he goes back to help the search again. And on the 13th, he finds an object that looks like a body. But unfortunately, the winds are super strong that day. And so divers can't go in to recover the object. When he returns the next day, he can't find that object. And based on where Lacey's body is found in May, he believes that this object was Lacey's body.
The second one that he found?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he also flew to Aruba to help try to locate Natalie Holloway.
Oh, wow.
I know. In 2004, the Ralstons searched Priest Lake in Idaho for the body of 53-year-old firefighter David Lewis. It's believed he fell out of his boat and drowned in the lake. And because no one saw him drown, they have to search a large area of the lake. While searching, they do find a body, but it's not David's. The body has been in the lake for as long as 100 years.
Whoa.
Yeah. Isn't that creepy? Do you ever like drive by bodies of water and lakes and shit and go, are there bodies in there?
Only current. I've never thought about the fact that obviously people have drowned throughout history.
Yeah.
And obviously they would just be sitting down there, especially
100 years ago.
100 years ago. And if it's super cold, it might be preserved.
I didn't know that. Yeah. That's the other thing too, is they don't fucking decay as fast.
Right. Wow.
I mean, fucking Echo Park Lake had bodies in it one time when it was emptied. I bet.
How about the Phoebe Judge This Is Criminal episode where they put a diver into the La Brea tar pits?
That's right.
If you haven't heard the episode of Criminal where they talk to the LAPD dive team, which is like one guy who had to go down and search in the tar. It's unbelievable. It's such a good episode.
When I was a kid, that was my grandma's neighborhood. And so she used to take me to La Brea tar pits all the time, which I wouldn't go fucking near. Even as a little kid, I was like, it's bizarre. Creepy. This is.
Well, and also as a little kid, you were looking at that woolly mammoth.
Yes. Half submerged.
The woolly mammoth is drowning in the tar and the baby is upset.
Yeah.
It's
why do
so
they think
awful.
children, like we went there for fucking field trips?
Yeah. Yeah. I bet you that whole thing was built in 1977. It was like the peak of we don't care about kids.
I think it was from the 60s. I think it was old. Steven, when was the La Brea Tar Pits created?
Well, no, it was created.
I should know this answer.
We just hit us at the exact same time.
80 billion BC.
In the medieval times. Steven's working.
Please, Steven's
Sorry.
typing.
That's okay.
1964.
Whoa!
Oh, I should have made a friendly wager.
Because I would have won.
I know.
Oh.
I just love losing and winning money.
I know, apparently. That's your favorite thing. We got to do more friendly wagers on this podcast.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Especially because we're always both wrong.
Yeah, I know. For real, we should also get an envelope with some places call a kitty put in it, where it's like, we have $100 friendly wager money, and then we build up from there. Yeah. And then at the end of the year, somebody wins it.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
I love whoever writes the best hometown of the year.
Oh my God. You could win $100 or more.
Or more. Or however much we're wrong.
Up to $200.
That's right. It's an incentive, they call it.
Yes, that's right.
myfavoriteMurder@gmail.com. Okay. Back to this horrible story. So 100-year-old body. To this day, it's the oldest body the Ralstons have recovered, but sadly, they did not find David's body.
Oh.
In June, which just has to be so disappointing. And when do you say, like, when do you stop saying one more day, you know?
Right. I mean, like, what can you, I wonder if that's something they preset with the family of, like, we will look for X amount of days.
And they have, like, they're probably totally backed up on their schedule, so they have to get to the next ones.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really sad about all these stories is the families are always waiting at the shore.
Of course.
Like, the families come every day. They stand by the shore, hopeful, but also, you know, dreading if it's going to be found. It's just so sad. In June of 2003, the Ralstons are asked to search, I'm going to call it Francois Lake in British Columbia, for the body of Sid Neville. Sid is presumed dead after a storm struck while he was fishing on June 7th. And as the couple is searching, they find a body. Again, someone else's body.
Oh.
It's the body of 33-year-old John Mowat, and he'd been missing since July of 1984.
Whoa.
When his abandoned boat was found in the water. His body's found at almost 600 feet deep.
Whoa.
So deep.
Yeah.
It's their deepest find, and they go back to the Francois Lake and continue looking for Sid Neville, and they find the original body they were looking for, also at around 600 feet deep.
Oh.
So, on August 26th, the Ralstons are asked to search for a 19-year-old man named Blake Becker. Blake is an amateur stunt motorcycle rider.
Oh.
And on July 23rd, he had planned to perform a stunt where he rides his motorcycle, which he had designed and modified himself. He's going to ride it across Montana's Canyon Ferry Reservoir. So this fucking jump across a lake.
Yeah.
Classic motorcycle stunt.
Yeah.
He'd done it before. It's a 3-mile jump. Only this time he's going to do it at night. I know. So, unfortunately, halfway across the lake, the motor on his bike seizes up. And he would have survived this, but there's some complication where when he hits the water, he doesn't realize that he had like snapped a cord that was on his bike in his life preserver, like clasps. So he couldn't get out of his, get off the motorcycle. He was basically attached to it.
Ugh.
And in his panic, he's not able to realize that.
And the weight of it sinks him.
The weight of the motorcycle sinks him to the bottom of the lake. He's the only victim the Ralstons ever recovered that was wearing a life jacket.
Mm.
Ralstons don't just search for people. In 2003, they helped NASA find remnants of the Columbia space shuttle after it broke up upon its return to Earth. And in 2004, they helped the U.S. military find the wreckage of 2 F-18 fighters that collided over Oregon's Columbia River.
Ooh.
They also once helped for a person look for their prosthetic leg.
Oh.
In Idaho's Lake Lowell, but they weren't able to find it.
Oh.
I know.
Those things are expensive.
That's why the guy was like, hey, can you help
Please
me?
help me.
Yeah. Today, the Ralstons are in their 70s, and they continue to dedicate their time and resources to helping find victims in the U.S. and Canada. A woman named May Silapise, whose aunt and uncle the Ralstons helped find after they had drowned in the Sacramento River in 2013, said about them, quote, "They don't save lives, but they save us from wondering and from the hurt, from the pain. They're like family to all these people." And of course, all the families of the people they found keep in touch with them. They talk to them regularly. They send Christmas cards.
I bet.
They're like indebted to them.
Yeah.
Jean said, quote, "I really don't like the word closure. It's terribly overused because things are never closed. The pain goes on forever. We've tried to come up with a better word, resolution, perhaps. But people seem to think that there's closure. They can move on with their lives and forget about all the stuff that happened in the past. There's no forgetting. It's always there." In 2020, Jean told Oregon Live, quote, "My body is telling me, yes, we need to slow down." They're in their 70s.
Yeah.
"We need to think about not putting ourselves through all of this, the mental stress and physical stress. But my heart and mind says you can't say no."
Oh.
And that is the story of Jean and Sandy Ralston, the retired couple who find drowning victims.
Amazing. Wow.
Mitzvah.
I love that.
It's a mitzvah.
It's a mitzvah, and it's like it's so nice to tell stories about the good people in the world, because there's these people that are out there with very little credit and very little attention, just getting this work done.
Yeah.
And
quietly.
Yeah. And also there's, because a lot of people have real issues around death and loss like that, where they just won't go near other people who go through it.
Yeah.
And that's another aspect of it that's really brave.
Yeah.
Is they're going into those situations of, loss and tragedy and just trying to make a difference.
Totally. Yeah. They're seeing trauma all the time. And they talk about it in the Guardian article about like, how do you compartmentalize? And like Sandy's better at it than Jean. You just see so much grief all the time.
Yeah.
How do you make it okay? But it's like, well, you're doing something to help. You're not, even though it's still there, the grief's still there.
The grief's there, but what you're doing is, because it isn't your grief.
Right.
It's you. We're not so delicate that we can't handle other people's grief.
Right.
It doesn't actually take that much, but you have to do it because the story and I'm of course right now thinking of my own experiences where when something horrible happens, like in your family or with relatives or whatever, there are reactions to go like, leave them alone.
Yeah.
Which is a very self-serving reaction.
Right.
Because you just don't want to be in a difficult scenario with someone else.
It makes you uncomfortable. And so you don't do it.
And of course it does, because it makes everyone uncomfortable. But that idea that there are those people who know and have learned, or maybe because of their own losses or whatever, they know that going in and sitting next to the person is not hard.
No,
and it's certainly not as hard as what that person's going through.
Totally.
And to even do anything to lift that burden
Or just
is
show up.
beautiful, beautiful work.
Very good.
Especially for some retirees in a motorhome.
I know, and they're so cute and white haired and like adorable.
And they're just fucking getting it done.
That's right.
God
Let's
bless.
get them a biopic. Let's see who will play them.
Well, of course, Dame Judi Dench. And then whoever can be on camera with her and not mind.
Yeah, I'm
being
thinking
next
like
to Dame Judi Dench.
I'm thinking like a what's Indiana Jones's name?
Oh, that's Harrison Ford. You don't know his name?
Harrison Ford. I know his name. I just have no memory of names. You know that by now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So
You're
Harrison
That was
Ford.
Snobby. That was snobby to shove that in your face.
Truly was, but you have a passion for.
Now I've apologized twice. What more do you want?
Right.
Wait, were we all the call together when someone talked about their favorite band being named thrice? Yes, it was Andrew on
It
the
was
staff call.
Andrew.
I laughed so hard. That band, like, I'm too old for that band.
Yeah.
The idea that some emo kids sat around and were like, we're fucking going to name ourselves Thrice because it sounds oldie English.
Yeah, it's spooky.
So funny.
They're hardcore.
Okay. Well, okay. So before we go, we haven't talked about how essentially the state of Texas has tried to repeal Roe versus Wade. They have passed unconstitutional legislation. It's a horror show because it's not only making abortion illegal, but actually making allowing citizens to report other citizens for any kind of abortion services.
Yeah.
It is.
There's a bounty on women's heads.
There's a bounty on women's heads, and there's a bounty on any kind of abortion service workers' heads. The doctors, the people that work at clinics, the janitor.
Yeah.
It it's truly insane, and lots of things have to happen and change, and we're all very upset about it. We didn't want to start the show off this way,
Right.
because enough of us live in this stress. We all heard this story. We all freaked out. As a woman who prioritizes choice, you would, of course, naturally just be like, oh, it's end times. This is absolutely insane.
This barbaric, it's fucking unconscionable, and it's a war on women, and we will not fucking stand by idly and let this happen.
No, and here's what's interesting is over a majority of Americans believe in choice for a woman's right to choose. This idea that this is somehow in any way a majority is absolutely incorrect. It's like 80% of Americans believe that it is a woman's right to choose what happens to her body.
Right.
And nobody intends to go backwards. We're not going to do that. So because of that, George and I are going to donate $10,000 to the Fun Texas Choice organization, which is very hands-on, active organization in Texas that basically are going to protect a woman's right and choice to get an abortion for whatever reason she might need that.
And then also, so we have in the My Favorite Murder store, we have the black and white My Favorite Murder logo pin, and 100% of the proceeds of that always go to a charity of our choice. And so we're now going to change the pin charity to be the Whole Women's Health Organization. So they are helping to fight this unconstitutional law in court. So right now, all proceeds of the black and white logo, My Favorite Murder pin in our store, are going to the Whole Women's Health.
And obviously, we're going to continue talking about this and discussing it and getting into it, because this is now, one of the foremost issues for women that there is.
Yeah.
I mean, bounty hunters. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sickening.
So stay strong. Like many other situations that we have, as women, have found ourselves in, this is just another one that is an opportunity to get smart, to get strong, to come together, to join each other, and to protect ourselves and each other's bodies. I don't know, like actual people.
Yeah.
With autonomy.
Exactly. Fucking patriarchy. Thank you guys for listening, and thank you for supporting us. We are so, as always, honored to be your talking people.
And thank you for your patience as you listen to our new talking getting better as every week goes by. It truly is a real wonderment to sit down and try to podcast again after 2 to 3 months of a break.
That's right.
So it's been very fun to rediscover this with you.
Yeah.
And we really love you and appreciate some of the messages people sent us were so touching.
Truly.
And so kind, like welcoming us back.
Yeah.
And, we're always braced for like social media nastiness. Of course, that's kind of this weird world.
I know.
And instead, what we have are a bunch of very nice friends who support us in what we do. And so we want you guys to know we also support you.
That's right. In a world full of Louis Vuittons, you guys are our athletic slides, and we appreciate you for that.
We appreciate you not making us walk with our heels raised 4 inches above our toes.
Leave our heels alone.
It hurts. It doesn't make sense.
That's right.
All right, everybody. Stay sane, stay strong, stay sexy.
And don't get murdered. Goodbye.
Elvis, do you want a cookie?
This has been an Exactly Right production.
Our producer is Hannah Kyle Crichton.
Associate producer Alejandra Keck.
Engineer and mixer, Steven Ray Morris.
Researchers Jay Elias and Haley Gray.
Send us your hometowns and your fucking hoorays at myfavoritemurder@gmail.com.
And follow the show on Instagram and Facebook at My Favorite Murder and Twitter at My Fave Murder.
And for more information about this podcast, our live shows, merch, or to join the fan cult, go to myfavoritemurder.com.
Rate, review, and subscribe.
The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And like, what if it turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
Vacation planning should feel like a breeze, not a deep dive into countless travel sites searching for the best deal.
With Cheap Caribbean's Budget Beach Finder, you can search every destination and every date all in one search.
You'll save time and money with the Budget Beach Finder.
Say goodbye to endless scrolling and tab hopping and hello to Budget Beach Bliss at your fingertips.
Go to cheapcaribbean.com to try out the Budget Beach Finder and see just how stress-free vacation planning should be.
Goodbye. Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable.
From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra.
Each design moves with you from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold. Goodbye.